Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Irish Hypnotherapy Conference. And this is our Meet the Speaker series. Today, we are talking to Beryl Comer all of the way from Spain. Not originally from Spain, because with the accent that you'll hear in a moment, but presently right there, and you can nearly see the sunshine beaming in behind you. So, Beryl, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. Yes. And the
Excellent,
sun is here,
excellent.
yes. But it's not the sunniest place I've lived because I also lived in Uganda, Tanzania, and in Dubai for 42 years. I left
Wow.
the UK in 1972. I'm really old.
You don't look it, you're fine. You're grand,
Thank you.
to use that lovely Irish expression.
I know. I'm looking forward to coming to Ireland because it was one of my first sort of holidays on my own, thumbing around the Flarkiols back in the
Oh, lovely.
60s, late 60s, with our guitars and one frock between three girls. And we found that we weren't allowed into the pubs in our jeans. So whoever got the date got the frock.
Right.
Yes. And
I
we
think we've
realized that
moved on a bit
our
since then. I
girls
think
that
we've moved on. Yeah.
yeah, we realized every Irish girl's got more song and melody in them than any of us. So kind of gave up the singing.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. So you took up hypnosis instead?
Well, after that, I went to teacher training college, taught in UK for 2 years, and then I did VSO, voluntary service overseas in
Oh,
Uganda.
yeah.
But that was Idi Amin, 1972, so we got out of there quickly. Set up a school in Tanzania. I was there for
Yeah.
4 years, and then I went to Dubai in 1976, and I was there till COVID.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Came over to Spain, and I thought, well, you're 70 now, Beryl, maybe wind down a bit, but you still get called.
So tell me, how did you get into hypnosis and hypnotherapy?
Well, I did transcendental meditation as we all did in the 70s, off to India and the Beatles and things. And I was using that a lot. I I watched the Maasai and the way they learned, and that was the tribe amongst where I was teaching and the Kachuggas. I was always interested in brain, the power of language, particularly, and how it affects us. And when I was a school principal in Dubai, long holidays, 2.5 months, I wasn't going to go back to mom in Manchester. So let's see what I can do. And I used to go on courses with Bandler in Mexico, NLP, um, hypnosis courses, and things like that. And naughty boys get sent to you as a school principal. So I used to hypnotize them. Nobody knew it was my hobby. You get sued for it now, I guess. But they go back to class and oh, what did Miss Oh, she just talked to me. And they said, I don't know what you do, Beryl, but when they come back, they're ever so good. I just taught them that it was a game.
Yeah.
And if you don't win the game, you lose. And so does Miss Smith, because she gets you for another year. You lose because you get Miss Smith for another year, and you're both fed up. So I told them to focus. And whenever she says this is important, it's important.
So
And
you
to
set a
watch
trigger.
and listen. Yeah, yeah.
Excellent.
I had a company called the Change Associates in Dubai. And I also did an MA in education and MA in applied linguistics,
Right.
So because I really liked psycholinguistics, sociolinguistics, all that sort of stuff, and the power of language and words. So I'm a great believer that as soon as the certificate is on the wall, it's out of date. So I'm
Yes.
not a great believer in just get the certificate and then you're trained. And unfortunately, in 2007, 8, when there was that big recession, a lot of people from marketing and advertising came into the hypnosis world and started marketing it as, work from anywhere, work from the beach and
Yeah.
all that sort of thing. And people started coming into the profession to be a hypnotist and have a business. It's not kind of where we were back then.
Right.
And yeah, a lot of people just fell for that and they thought, oh, I've got a certificate now. But that's why I go to conventions. Before there were conventions in Europe, I was going to the US, to the National Guild of Hypnotists,
Mhm.
which has now this year celebrated its 75th year.
Yes, I
75
saw
years
that.
of
I saw that.
convention.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a very significant number.
Yeah, and being the only hypnotherapist in the whole Middle East at that time, it was a great way to connect, to meet other people. That's also when people started saying, how do you get so many referrals from doctors and dentists? I thought, well, everybody does, don't they? No. So I started looking at what I was doing, and I was just doing my thing. And then I started presenting on that, wrote about hypnodontics, my broken heart cure, which I used to do a lot of demos on, and given a lot of talks on sleep talk and working with children, which was what I thought I would originally be doing. So that's a little
And
sort of part of me.
sleep talk, and what you're sleep talk is what you're going to present in Dublin. But
That's
actually,
right.
before we move on to sleep talk, tell me a little bit about the broken heart.
Oh, the broken heart cure.
Yeah.
Well, um, in Dubai, we had a lot of young girls starting to come in. When I first went in the 70s, there weren't, but when an airline started to open, young, pretty girls,
Hmm.
they're all told, don't fall for the Arabs, they're going to marry their cousin, etc. But they meet these charming young men who are very well trained by their sisters on how to chaperone and open the doors and things like that. And they're good-looking guys. They perfume themselves and they shave every day. Their grooming is wonderful. So yeah, they fall in love, and then they hear because they're traveling a lot. Then they hear, oh, we've seen him with Susie, we've seen him with Sharon. No, no, and then they get what we call MMID. Um, my Mohammed is different.
Right.
And then they're sitting by the phone whenever they are in Dubai, and he's not coming, and then she finds the truth, and she's brokenhearted, or he marries his cousin but still wants to keep the relationship, and there was a lot of broken hearts, and I had to find something very quick because they're on standby or they're flying off tomorrow, or I couldn't
Hmm.
the regular see you now, see you next week, and that sort of thing. So a whole lot of different NLP techniques that compound this, so that instead of seeing this guy in full color, Technicolor, how wonderful, to take that picture away, so you just see him in black and white, and why did I ever bother? And then
Right.
build up their self-esteem all in sort of 2 hours, really.
And that was actually just identifying something, a need that was there, and then just filling it. That's literally
Yeah.
what you did.
And then I mean, when I teach it, the first thing I say is put your hand up if you ever had a broken heart. Keep it up if you've had more than one, two, three. Yeah, my hand's still up. And it's a huge market, not just
Yeah.
female. I mean, hasn't everybody had a broken heart?
Well, pretty much guess they have.
So
Pretty much
what
guess they
what a
have.
huge market. Not everybody's had TMJ and uh, gagging or the things that I work with hypnodontics, fear of needles, but nearly everybody's had a broken heart.
Yeah, yeah, that's an
Huge
interesting one. I'm
market.
glad we detoured off to that because that just gives an insight into you, and just meeting the needs as it's there as well. I mean, obviously the hypnodontics did that arrive from your time in Dubai and just a need for that
Well, I
in the
was a
market there as well.
dentist who sent a lady to me because she'd had her teeth removed, and now she was gagging every time she was putting her false teeth in. You can tell how long ago that was, false teeth, 30 odd years ago. And I was still working at the university. I was by this time, head of the teacher training department at the university. So, but weekends I got people coming in because they'd heard about me. I wasn't marketing because it would have been illegal. I was working for the government to have another
Yes.
job, but people hear about you, the expatriate population, and my husband was a doctor as well, so I was often talking to other doctors about this work. And he said, "Can you relax her so that we can get there?" I said, "Oh, I've done more than that." So yeah, 2 sessions just putting her teeth in, but we'd already worked out that it was to do with some sexual abuse. So a third session to clear up with some shared therapy and stuff, what had happened
Yeah.
to her and the resentment, and she'd never talk to anybody and how that was bottling up. And
Very
yeah,
impressive.
a lot of
Very
birthing comes
impressive.
from that. So that dentist was so impressed, he started telling other dentists, which is exactly what happened with Elman. The first person who asked
Yeah.
Elman to teach was he called them at the time an oral surgeon.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been exciting. And that's why at 76, I still do what I do. I don't see the five, six clients a day that I used to. I see five in a week or even a month. That's okay.
Hmm. You're still in there. So tell us then about the sleep talk, because that's what you're going to talk about in Dublin.
Yes. That was as a meeting from with Joan Golding, who was a Brit who'd gone to live in Australia. She had a child who was seriously um, affected by dyspraxia, dyslexia, IQ of only 60. They couldn't talk with her. Her father had run away with and taken the sister, who was the only one she could communicate with. She was very traumatized and very angry. You just couldn't talk to her. And her husband, Jim Golding, had studied Elman and learned hypnosleep,
Right.
which Elman used with Larry.
Yes.
And so they started say that the only time they could communicate with her was while she was asleep. So they built this up with psychologists and psychiatrists on the hypnosleep model to build up her esteem. Because the first thing to build in a child is esteem. If a child has self-esteem and confidence, they're okay. But again, words
Yeah.
matter. So
Yes.
if you're told constantly you're stupid, you'll never be like your sister, all those things, we haven't got time for you. That's as much trauma as seeing an airplane crash, you know?
Yes. Absolutely.
So, yeah, they worked to develop the script, which is said to the child in a certain way, in a certain manner, to take them from deep sleep to
Wake and sleep.
no sleep, REM.
Yeah.
We know REM is hypnosis, don't we, really?
Yeah.
Rapid eye
Yes.
movement sleep. You read this script to them and then take them back into sleep. The child just doesn't even know that the parent was in the room. You've got to be pretty constant at this. You've got to do it every night. It's not like, and a lot
Yeah.
of
And I mean,
parents
that
I
was
teach this to don't follow through. That's the trouble. And that
right.
tells you a lot too. But the ones that do stick with it, it's amazing.
Can it be? I mean, I'm just thinking out loud now, but can it be a recording as well, or does it have to be live?
Well, when the father or mother is traveling for work, we can have recordings in there.
Right. Okay.
But you still got to
Okay.
physically do it. You can say you've had a late night and the child's fallen asleep in the car. You can do it
Yes.
then and
I'm
things like that.
fascinated now. So you're basically taking what Dave Ellman did and you're bringing it up to
Yeah,
today's.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. And we have a
And
version called that Jerry Kine used to call the DRT, the dirty rotten trick. And that's how
right.
I got my husband to quit snoring because I did it
Right.
with him in his sleep. And that's a little bit different. And I'm using it nowadays with dementia
Okay.
clients because I'm doing a lot of research in dementia because you still get people on training courses telling, don't work with people with dementia, don't work with people who have epileptic fits, don't. Oh gosh, I can't believe the don't. No wonder people are frightened to do hypnosis. There's too many don't do this and don't do that. Brave people do research. I
Yeah.
mean, with the limits of what we have and saying, so I'm teaching the carers to do a, a version of sleep talk that I'm researching. I'd love
Okay.
to have the time, but I'm a bit too old now and to do a PhD in it. But I'd love to have done a PhD study on
What
working with dementia
what
clients.
would you say, or how have you found the benefits? So is it everything? I mean, is there anything off limits when you're working with a child? What by that, what I mean is there anything off limits in terms of what you couldn't do in the therapy room? Is it the exact same as you would do in the therapy room? You're just using sleep to talk during sleep to allow that change to happen. the self-esteem to be built, whatever that may be.
Well, one of sleep talk is done by the parents
Right.
because the child needs to have that trust level and communication with the parents.
Yes, of
And
course.
being a teacher, for all the teachers out there, you've sat in the staff rooms talking about little Johnny. Well, and you're always saying, well, have you seen the parents? You know, yeah, it's parent teaching as well as what they do.
Okay.
So in a way, you're
Absolutely.
teaching them to, instead of saying, don't forget your football kit, remember your football kit.
Remember,
And
absolutely.
all
It's the
of
power
those
of words.
things that we teach. So you're teaching not just what to do to program your child, you're teaching them how to do it outside of sleep as well. So
Yes.
many of the things that we say in this script while they're asleep, we're also encouraging them to say during the day.
Okay. So, but what are the kind of issues that you would be dealing with it, or is just in general?
When they come to me,
Yeah.
now, whenever I have a parent saying, I want you to work my child, I say, I want to see you and teach you sleep talk first.
Okay.
Because we've all had those children who are biting their nails, the hypnosis works. 6 weeks later, they're biting their cheek or they're pulling their ear or something because they're going back into the same environment.
Yes. No,
You know,
absolutely.
you know the
Absolutely.
NLP thing about ROET, check you're in rapport, check on the outcome, check the environment, and then choose your therapy. You can't
Yes. No,
send the
absolutely.
child back into the same environment. So this changes the environment. And the parents realize how they've been talking to their child. You can't just talk to them this way in their sleep and then continue ragging them during the day. So it's education for the parent. So as I say, it's about building up their esteem and their confidence, and then things like their bedwetting and things goes away. And that reminds me of a lady, she was an American lady, quite tough, and she had the child older, and I think he was 9. And she came on a sleep talk level 1 training, which is just for the parents. And she said, oh, this is stupid, this is poppycock, blah, 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 blah. And I want my money back. I said, well, give it a week and see. And sure, if you feel it's not for you, I'll happily give you your money back. This is way back when I used to do things like that. And now it's my time and it's my time. And I get paid for it. Um, so she called me the next morning, sweet as could be. She says, I have to apologize too. I feel so bad, etc., etc. This morning, I went into his room. He's sitting on the end of his bed, and he says, okay, Mom, I'm already up. Bag's packed. I'm ready to go. And I didn't have to drag him out of bed and push him around and have this horrid morning. I said, well, please continue because don't think just one off is going to work. It's got to
The
that level. We want
consistency.
to get it to be
Yeah.
consistent. She says, I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm going to tell all my friends about this. I said, well, that's
Mm.
unusual. It doesn't happen always as quickly as that.
No, I understand. I understand.
But,
Um, so that is what you will be speaking about in Dublin. You'll
oh,
be
and
introducing,
how I'm using it with my dementia clients
yes, and
and
that's
how
the
it's
other
gone
side of it.
on to become the bunny talk now.
Okay. So basically, what you're telling me is that we can use sleep talk for children,
Hmm.
for dementia, and even to stop our partners from snoring.
Absolutely.
So
But if I
we
was
can
your
use it at any
partner,
time.
John, and you wanted to quit snoring and you hated the way I went and slept in the spare room, sometimes I wish I could
Yeah, I
stop,
understand. Yeah.
then yes. But I can't do it to like take out the trash and do the washing up and do that because you don't want to do those things.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Same principles apply, obviously. That's what you're saying to me, as it does
Absolutely.
in the therapy room. The
Yes.
client has to want to change. Absolutely. No, I'm looking forward to this now. And and it's funny, there'll be a couple of different people talking about various aspects of children. So you'll be connecting with a few more. So it'll be really interesting. Um, the other thing is, obviously, as you said, you've been at conferences for many years. You've traveled all over the world to see them. Um, What would you say to someone about attending a conference? What would be the benefits as you would see them?
Well, as I say, when I first went, my first conference was in 2000, National Guild of Hypnotists, and I was still working full time at the university and seeing people quietly. I never thought I was going to do this as a full-time job. I mean, I had a really good job, two business class tickets a year on, to do. But it really gave me the confidence to see that I was doing well, and people coming to me for advice and listening to me, and wow, my confidence levels went up because I had no one else to talk to, and you're meeting people from all over. Maybe you don't want to talk to the hypnotherapist down the road because you see them as competition. I don't know. I didn't have any competition in Dubai at the time. But now you've got people from all over the world who are sharing ideas, and you're realizing you can add to that certificate on the wall that's out of date. The camaraderie, and there's nothing so much fun as a whole lot of hypnotists in a big room.
No, absolutely. That's for sure. That is for sure. It is a very fun event. That's for sure. There is a lot
Yeah.
of focus on fun, and a lot of connection with people. So it's really good. But Beryl, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you in Dublin in April. It's going to be wonderful.
Thank you. It's been lovely to talk to you, and I'm looking forward to meeting everybody.
And to everyone who's been watching, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you in Dublin on the April 26th. www.irishhypnotherapyconference.ie for all of the details. See you then. Have a
Yeah.
beautiful rest of the day.